Good evening. So I wanted to start off right off the bat showing you the picture of what's going on. It's there on the right. As you can see, this is off a porch in the Sierras and a property that I go to. There's a daytime on the left. There's the nighttime on the right. Now, this is a still from a video that I shot last year. I'd explain more details later on in this video, exactly how and when it came up. The original of this video was posted on this channel last year, last February, I believe. The link is in the description below to see the nighttime encounter. So what it was is I came running out onto the porch and started filming after hearing a noise. I was looking around in the dark and I heard a snap, like something stepped on a branch and a crunch of leaves. And I started panning around, and for a brief second, you can see eye shine. Well, a friend of mine and viewer sent me these enhanced photos. Now, I'm not an enhanced guy. I'm not Bigfoot Tony. I'm not Thinker Thunker. And he sent me these images, and to me, it was justification of what I saw something. Now, I'm not saying this is Bigfoot or Sasquatch or an alien or Dogman. I hope it's not a Dogman. But to me, something was out there. And as you can see from this shot here, you can see my friend Brian there is kind of a stand-in. Its head is much higher up, very close to where that branch is. That's kind of in the center of your screen, kind of parallel to the that lattice apparatus right there. So it makes you show it's about a good 2.5 feet above Brian's head, as you can see in that photo. At first, I thought maybe it was an owl, but you got to understand that the eyes that you see, or at least I think they're eyes, who knows, are actually looking through that branch. And it's been a year, so the tree and the tree behind it look a little bit different. This is as close as I can come up with, folks. But you could tell that the eyes are looking through the branches like something's obscuring its face, which is why it's kind of hard to see. And in some of the later enhanced photographs, you can see this better. And it's between that branch and about 35 feet behind it is a power pole. That's the bright thing you see in the photo. So you can tell it's between the branch and the power pole in the background. And there's definitely something there. I heard it crunch, and definitely got a creeped out feeling, and we heard stuff moving. So it's just kind of nice to know that I wasn't imagining it. And I'll give you a whole daytime walkthrough right here in a video. So please enjoy. 2018, so last year in a month, so 13 months ago, just about my birthday, actually my 35th birthday, I was up here with some friends. Brian was up here, the guy you're going to see outside who we've been filming with. Pat and Garrett were also up here. They're not up here right now. But someone analyzed the video for me, and in the video, I'll post a link to the bottom. I don't have the original anymore. I don't know what happened to it. I think it was on a phone that crashed. I got to look through my my database hard drive, my backup hard drive. I might have it. If I do, I'll put it in this video. If not, I'll leave a link to the YouTube video that it's posted on. And if you look at that video, really dark and really isolated, you can see eye shine for a second on the porch, off the porch. So what happened is we were sitting here playing cards. My friend Pat went out the door over there and onto the porch here, and he came to the porch, went outside, grabbed his gloves or something off of the counter, and he said, "Wow, I hear the biggest owl I've ever heard in my life hooing out here," which, you know, everybody talks about the 800-pound owl and Bigfoot. And I said, "Really?" And I perked up, and I was sitting at the table there. We were playing cards. I was like in shorts and a t-shirt, and it was like 19 degrees out and 11 or midnight. It was really late at night. Well, not really, really late, but pretty late at night, dark out, cold. And I didn't have anything on me. My flashlight, I didn't have anything on me as far as like a gun or anything like that. I literally just grabbed the phone, the same phone I'm recording this on right now for continuity, and I ran outside onto the porch. And I hit record. They came out here, and it was all pitch black at the time. We had porch lights on, and you could kind of see around. Hi, Brian. He's going to be our Squatch stand-in. So I came out here, where you could see the golf cart was parked here. We had the Hummer there, and I was panning around. I was trying to find something, and I'm looking around, and I'm like scanning, and I don't hear anything, and I'm trying to like peer through the darkness. And these lights on the house do a pretty good job of lighting stuff up, but it was just still a lot of shadows and trees. And I'm out here recording, and that's when I heard a snap off to my right, and I spun around, and I was filming over here, and at that point I start freaking out because it sounded like a big snap, like something stepped on a log or a tree, and you can see all these branches down here. And at this point I go over here, and you can hear me saying some expletives to my fellow inebriants inside, because we had a few cocktails at that point. but we weren't seriously hammered or anything. We were just playing cards, doing guy stuff. He's like, give me a flashlight, give me a flashlight. Garrett gave me a flashlight, and it was it was an okay flashlight. It wasn't like some 500 lumen Surefire. I think it was just like kind of a normal pocket flashlight. And I start looking around, and I'm looking around, and it just knocked the glass off there, but it did not break. Ha ha ha! Thank God. And at that point, I go back inside. I think I throw a jacket on. Maybe like 30 seconds, 45 seconds elapsed. Brian was with me. I grabbed a rifle, and it had a bright light on it, much brighter than the one I had earlier. And we start scanning and looking around, and we're kind of walking behind me. It's funny because Garrett, who was with me at the time, has gun experience, and Brian doesn't really have much, but Garrett stayed inside, and Brian went with me. So thanks for being brave, Brian.
Garrett also wasn't drinking.
Yeah, he was not drinking either. Maybe he was the smart one. And we got to about here. And I was talking to D. Doss about this the other day. Sometimes you get this feeling of stop, of don't go any farther. As we cleared these trees, these redwoods here. Well, I think one's a redwood and one's a cedar. I don't know, these two big trees here. And it felt, don't go any farther, because there's a blind corner around this barn here. There's a big tree. There's the old house. There's a gap between that Connex container and the house. There's a really big tree there. And it was almost like a feeling, don't go any farther. And Brian, do you remember when I'm like, I don't want to go any farther?
I do, yeah.
And you were like, okay. I think you've thoroughly agreed.
I did.
And you can see that fence line over there. Let me zoom in. And right on the other side of that fence line, fairly high up off the ground, pretty damn high up off the ground, the very edge of where my flashlight would illuminate, we saw eye shine. It was pretty direct eye shine. Like, Brian, do you see that eye shine? He's like, yeah. And I got the most creeped out feeling of, don't go any farther, like there's something behind this barn or behind this tree. And he's kind of just giving you a scale. But yeah, it was right about here. Oh, someone's coming down to say hello. And we were coming down to here. And yeah, it was right on the other side of the fence. I think kind of towards, just past the house over there, you could see some eye shine. And you could get Brian there for a little bit of scale. So yeah, and it was kind of over off to the right there, and it was quite a bit higher up than his head. And we'll go into why that was important here in a second. Kind of somewhat in the same angle here. That was the neighbor Bender came over and said hello, so we had to stop and talk to him. Cool guy. Yeah, so right around in there, maybe a little lower, Brian. Go a little lower. Around in there is where you can kind of see that eye shine, because there's the second tree, first tree. It's in the branches right there. Brian, how tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
He's 5'9". He's wearing shoes and has a hat on, so we'll say 5'10". And how that thing's what, about 2 feet over your head?
2 or 3.
Yeah, I would say that's probably about 2.5 feet. So that's an easy 7 feet, and the way the angle of the eyes were. And you see the eyes were below the branch, because I thought maybe it would be an owl or something we caught, but they don't hang upside down like a bat. So we, yeah, that's very strange. Well, we're going to take some more still shots and see what we got going. So. All right, so here's Brian. He's about 7 or 8 feet back. You can still see that post. Now, that second tree that you can kind of see here, it's got another branch. Brian, why don't you go behind that branch? I don't think that's what we're seeing in the video. But even then, at Brian at 5'9", you could clearly see its head, and it's somewhere up here. It's somewhere up here, and this post is there. But even if you think that this is the branch that's in the video, that's still 6'8", 6'10", 7 foot. They have the eyes up there and then hunched over because the eyes are at an angle. I mean, that's 7 foot to the top of that hoe there. I'm not calling Brian a hoe. So, but Brian, why don't you back up even a little bit more? And the farther he backs up, the smaller he looks, which means the thing had to be even bigger.
Yeah, it's sloping down pretty fast.
Brian, move a little more towards that way. Yeah, because that's kind of lined up with the fence. And if that's the branch up here, and he's still in front of that, he could have been potentially way bigger. And the fact that I heard something snap out here. All right, Brian, you're good. But the fact that I heard something snap out here, when I was looking over here. And then when I ran inside, we grabbed a flashlight and I ran out. And then down there on the road, I got the feeling, don't go any farther. Like pit in the stomach, stop. And then down there by the fence line, we saw eye shine quite a bit above the fence line. And it was, you know, stereoscopic, pretty somewhat far apart eyes, glowing pretty bright. I couldn't really make out a figure what it was, because it was just at the edge of the flashlight range. But I mean, something, you know, man, beast, whatever, something crunched up here. And then when I came back out, it was down at that fence line. And interestingly enough, like I was telling Bender, the neighbor who just came down, you guys will find this fascinating too, is that post, we hang trail cameras on there, and you see deer and coyote and bobcats and all sorts of stuff use this little road here as a little highway. And he was just telling me that up on the road up there, there's some old PVC pipe that got tossed over. And he's been fixing fence because he's got all this fence line that's crashed over, and there's no footprints that he could tell, like a bear or chew marks, but all this stuff that's moved around. We're going to go up and take a look at that, because that sounds very, very odd. So, okay, folks, we're probably going to roll in some pictures now of the comparative of what happened. And I kind of walked you through what happened in the sequence of events, and we're going to roll through some pictures. I made notes on lightened, enhanced, zoomed in, that kind of stuff, to kind of show you the eyes that were up here below the branch, so not hanging off of the top like an owl, but you could see the post in there. So yeah, we're gonna roll those pictures in. All right, folks, so here we have is the first one, the original one that was sent to me. Now, just the highlighted area where you see the eyes has been brightened, and that's about all that's been done to this photo. And this is not taken from the original file. This is taken from my YouTube video. Someone downloaded the video, which you can do. There are apps for it. And then took a still and enhanced it and lightened it. You can see that post. It's the same post that was in the background, kind of coming up to what looks like a nose, and then two eyes glowing, and then a white area. Then off to the right area, it almost looks like a shoulder, but that's actually part of the branch, because you can see it's green. It's a different color. And I just used some filters. This is silver tone. So you kind of see it almost looks like an insectoid head or an alien head or some kind of a strange head. But like I said, since it's obscured by a branch in front of it, you can't really tell the shape of the head, but you can definitely see the eyes, and it almost looks like a snout, maybe a nose or something like that in there. Here's a little different view. You can kind of tell from this view that what you're seeing with the washed out with the white and everything is actually from the tree, because it's looking through a branch. And I think it's skin or flesh or hair or whatever this thing is. Definitely see it. And once again, that white thing below is the post that you saw in the background. And also, I wanted to let you guys know, if you want to take screenshots of any of this stuff, if you want any of the originals or any of the photos seen in this video, I'll be happy to email them to you. Just email me at mattsquatchpresents@gmail.com, and I will send them to you. And if you want to make your own videos, your own analyzation, or share them on your blogs, or do whatever it is that you do, go right ahead. Just give me credit. I don't want to be one of those Bigfooters that like, oh, I caught Bigfoot and you can't share this photo and you can't critique it. No, critique away. And I'm not even saying this is Bigfoot or a dogman or anything. I'm just saying that something was weird. I heard something make noise and I filmed it, and then a friend of mine enhanced the image a bit and we caught something. What it is, I'm not sure. So I appreciate your help below, your comments below, whatever you want to do. Tony, Bigfoot Tony, or Thinker Thunker, or anybody who does breakdowns, if you want any of the images or videos, feel free to download it off of either this video or the previous video or any of these images. I just want help, and I'm trying to keep an open mind here, and I'm not telling anybody what this is exactly because I really don't know. Thank you very much, and stay safe in the woods, folks.